Hey guys, it's Revolution Arie. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me for today's revolutionary seed titled Change of Heart. So have you ever been on social media and you're scrolling through somebody's feed? Maybe it's somebody you know, maybe it's somebody you don't know. It could be somebody who's famous. It could be somebody who's just a stranger or a friend. Well, for me, I know I have scrolled and looked and thought to myself, why don't I have what they have? Why is it that they have that and I don't? You know, what makes them good enough for that instead of me? And we get into this comparison game. Have you ever felt like that? I'm pretty sure I'm not alone with this. And with that being said, it's important to realize that we're doing this so that when we're catching ourselves do this, we can change it. We can have a change of heart. I attend a church called Life Church, and it's an amazing church. My pastor likes to say that what people put on social media is their highlight reel. What do I mean by that? Only the best of the best makes the cut for their social media accounts, whatever it is that they have going on. How does that make other people feel? Well, what are we comparing ourselves to? Something that's realistic or something that's just like what's going on at that time and moment that they want to post? Because I'm pretty sure most people are not going to want to post the bad things or the things that they're not happy about or embarrassed about. I know personally, I don't like to do that. But we have to realize that nobody's perfect. And there are some people who are afraid to share what's really going on. And they only want to put what is called the highlight reel on their social media, so that others don't have this negative aspect about them, or maybe they just don't want other people to know. Sometimes you're comparing yourself to a Photoshop picture, or you're comparing yourself to something that maybe they don't experience that on a regular basis, but they're just posting it. Maybe they are blessed and they're posting it, and we're still comparing ourselves to that. This is not healthy for us to do that, because you are your own person. We are all created as individuals. We have our own flaws. We have our own blessings. We have our own race to run. If you're struggling with this, I highly recommend that you go to God and you ask Him to give you a change of heart. Sometimes we go and look at other people and compare ourselves and kind of put ourselves down. God doesn't like that. He wants you to realize how special and important you are, and how things will come in your own timing, and you have your own things, your own blessings, your own lessons to learn. But we have to come to God. I personally have to do this a lot. Sometimes I'm asking Him to help change my heart on a constant basis, and that's okay. I'm a person. I have things to work on just like anybody else. If you're personally struggling with something, try God. Ask Him to help you. Help change your heart. You know, in the Bible, there's a man named David, and I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of him before. David and Goliath, the famous story that pretty much a lot of people know. He had this situation going on where he was somewhere where he wasn't supposed to be, and he ended up doing something he wasn't supposed to do. And by that, if you guys know the story about him and Bathsheba, he ended up messing around with somebody else's wife, and then it all went downhill from there, because he ended up having the guy killed after he tried to fix the problem on his own, in his own terms, which wasn't a healthy way to do it. Now, am I blaming him? I'm guilty of my own mistakes and stuff like that. Not that I have done that, but we have our own things we have to work on, like I said. Now, David has been known to be a man of God's heart, right? So if he can go forth and ask God for help, why can't we? We should be able to do the same thing, because we should all seek to be closer to God. Remember, I said if you come closer to Him, He will come closer to you. I don't just say that. I actually got that from the Bible. And you know what? That's something that we need to learn. So during this time, David had just experienced the thing that he wasn't supposed to, and he felt bad. So he came to God and he wrote Psalm chapter 51 verse 10 in response to him feeling guilty about what he did, asking God to change his heart. I'll be reading from the New International Version on my phone to let you guys know that verse. It says, "Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me." Is that something that you need to ask? I know personally I have had to ask multiple times, and I still have to ask, because there's still things that I need to work on. Hopefully this encourages you in your situation, whatever is going on. It might be different for you. It might be different for me, but that's okay, as long as we're seeking God and asking Him to help us, because He will change your heart. Now, remember I was talking about my situation, and I was on social media and I was, comparing myself to some of the things that I shouldn't have been comparing myself to, the highlight reels of other people. Well, I asked God to help me with this, and it took some time. I was off of social media for a long time, and as you can tell, I haven't been doing my channel at all. It's probably about a similar amount of time. I mean, off and on I've been on social media, but for the most part I've been away from it. And to those who I have offended by not responding, I apologize. And the reason why I needed to be away from that was because it wasn't healthy for me. It was actually creating some negativity in my heart and in my mind, where I just started making myself bash myself in my mind about how I'm not good enough, and why don't I have this? That's not what God wants us to do. So I asked him, like I said, to change my heart, and he changed it. He has definitely moved me from comparing myself to other people, especially on social media, to how I need to be in my own life and my own walk, with my own blessings and my own lessons. So what do you need to do? What is something you need to change, and what is something you need to ask God to help you with, to change your heart? Because he will. The only way that we can have permanent change when it comes to certain things like this is through his power. We can do all things through Christ. That's what the Bible tells us, and I believe that to be true, and I hope you can believe it for yourself as well. I hope this word encourages you to run your own race and to walk closer to God, because that's how we can make permanent change. That's how we can live better and more positive. If you like this video and you like this content, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember to ring that notification bell so that you can be notified when my next video comes out. And as always, remember that every single day is a new opportunity to do better than your last. Be revolutionary.